Governor Rambarran, can you tell us why is the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago hosting the Global Policy Forum 2014?
One, because we're the 100th member. Two, because in our hearts, we believe in the importance and value that financial inclusion brings. And three is that we see it as an opportunity to be a game changer for the Caribbean so that the awareness is built up around financial inclusion and the benefits you could get from joining AFI.
What was the motivation behind the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago joining the Alliance for Financial Inclusion?
Here in the Caribbean and here in Trinidad and Tobago, AFI wasn't known. So it was almost, in a sense, a surprise and that here was this institution, this network, doing such good work around the world. And we were, in a sense, oblivious to that in the Caribbean space, particularly in Trinidad and Tobago. So, you know, I felt a sense of alliance, a sense of kinship, that if we leverage the work of AFI, if we joined AFI, then we could actually take our work that we've been doing on financial inclusion to the next level.
The Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago is hosting the GPF for the first time in the Caribbean region. So this is a good time for us to talk about the status of financial inclusion throughout the Caribbean as well as here in Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, first, it's actually very difficult to state precisely what's the status of financial inclusion in the Caribbean, primarily because we don't have the data. We have a few countries who've participated in one or two surveys, and you get a sense of what the situation looks like, but it's very difficult to take that and then paint this broad brush of the Caribbean region. What we've seen is for some of the countries like Haiti that has participated in the survey, financial inclusion is at a very low level. Here in Trinidad and Tobago, I would say we're somewhere at an intermediate stage. Our citizens do have access to various accounts, and they're also part of what is called the credit union movement. So from that point of view, they're well served. What they're not well served with is how do you make decisions now around the financial products and services that you're confronted with, and how do you evaluate the risk and return related to those products and services. It's no less important, it's just that the focus for Haiti will not be the focus for Trinidad and Tobago, and it may not be the focus for Jamaica or Barbados or St. Vincent. But the thing is, even for those countries, we're not too sure where the focus should be, because we don't have a pretty good sense of what the financial inclusion needs look like until you actually go out and survey and find out. So we may have one or two primary indicators that would suggest, yes, Jamaica is obviously, as of its financial sector, is well established, well advanced, well developed. But does it mean that financial inclusion is also well developed in Jamaica? I don't have the answer to that until you actually survey the population. Because if I use the Trinidad and Tobago case, our financial system is also well developed, a major part of our non-energy economy. But when we did our financial literacy survey, the results were startling. That showed, look, almost 2/3 of this population were not financially savvy when it came to understanding products and services, when it came to planning for retirement, when it came to simply just understanding that if you made the wrong choice, you also were instrumental in helping a financial institution become part of what would eventually be a major problem that we have to solve. I think it is extremely important to leverage on the relationships we have in AFI so that we can realize our own goals for the region.
Governor, can you tell us what is your vision for the Global Policy Forum 2014?
As you know, the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago is actually celebrating its 50th anniversary in 2014. And we have chosen the theme of 2014 as a year of financial inclusion. And therefore, that is going to be a unifying theme throughout all our events. And of course, with what I would consider to be the flagship event, which is the Global Policy Forum. What I have in mind for Trinidad and Tobago in particular is that we would achieve three major outcomes. One is to help a Caribbean country set up its own national financial literacy program. The second is to help another Caribbean country set up its own financial services ombudsman. And the third is to transform our national financial literacy program into a National Institute for Financial Inclusion, which is actually part of our Maya Declaration. So I'm looking for three tangible outcomes during the course of this Global Policy Forum.
So, Governor, what message do you have for the invitees and the delegates for the 2014 GPF?
Well, we could look forward to a totally different GPF from previous ones. So we want to bring this more into a very intimate setting. And therefore the discussions, we're looking to focus them around how we touch lives, how we touch consumers, how we touch policy making, how we touch the national financial systems, and how we touch the Caribbean region. We're looking to invite our Caribbean neighbors and, of course, the rest of the world here to Trinidad and Tobago in September 2014. We see you in paradise.